Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a little bit of an unscheduled review for you guys. We took our 330e into the shop and they gave us a 530i X Drive. So I'm going to do a quick review on that for you today. Welcome back to the QuickShifts channel. If you guys like this kind of content, the kind of videos that we bring to you, please smash that subscribe button. And if you like this video, hit that like button for me. Helps us out with the logarithms and helps get us more views, and we can definitely use all the help we can get getting more subscriptions. So thank you for joining us today. Let's jump right into this. So take a look at this car here. This is the 530i. We got this from Century BMW. Again, our 330e is in for service right now, and this is the loaner they provided us. This is a M Sport package car. That means it comes with the M Sport suspension. It's got the M Sport wheels on it. And I got to show you guys this. I love this. The balancing hubcaps, they're always upright centered. They're weighted. That's a great little feature. It's an add-on on this car. Again, this is the X Drive 530i. It's in the black sapphire. It's got the black interior, and we'll jump in there in a second. But this is one of those underrated cars. Even myself, consider myself a little bit of an enthusiast, but this is a car that I almost never think to drive or to look at when I'm looking at and evaluating cars. But you know, after having this for a few days here for the as a rental, I'm telling you, this car is really growing on me, and I'm really starting to like this a lot. So this again is 248 horsepower. It has 258 torque. It's an inline 4-cylinder turbocharged. Again, BMW, of course. And this thing's quite peppy. It moves pretty well. So let me go ahead and pop the hood for you guys here, and we'll take a look at that. So under the hood here, I double pull the handle to get it to pop. Good old BMW. You do have your twin power turbo i4 turbocharged engine, and this is capable of doing 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. It's quite a stout little engine. You can really hear it running, and with this M Sport package, you do feel the road. It does have very good grip. It's a nice and firm ride. Your passengers might find it a little on the firm side, especially if they're sitting there trying to text and use the internet and all those things while you're driving on a road trip. But as a driver, you love this car. It drives really well. It's got great handling, great characteristics for a driving car, and we'll do a little bit of driving in a little bit. So a couple of the features on the exterior of this car: it does have the black kidney bean grills on it. You'll notice that here. And then with the M Sport, you get the black trim around the windows, so it's not all chrome. This is all blacked out here. Those are great on this car. I really don't like all the chrome that they can put on some of these cars, so to see this all blacked out, I think it makes a huge difference. I guess you could say this is black on black. Now, the only thing I wish they would have done with this particular car, since it's black on black, is also gave it the black wheels. These are actually the silver wheels, and then the inside is a dark gray on the inside of the spokes here. It is the upgraded M Sport wheel, and I believe this does have the BMW lights in there as well. So let's jump inside and take a look at the interior and go over some of the inside specs. All right, so we've jumped in the car, and it does have the push button start. So you hit that push button start, and the car goes ahead and cranks up. So in here, what I really like is this new dash that BMW has. Hope you guys can see this on the video, but it's all one-piece digital display in here. And because this is the M Sport, you have the nice M up the top of the wheel there. And you can choose what you want in here. You can customize this display to show all the things that you'd like to display. If you put it into the navigation mode, you can actually see navigation in the dash here, as well as on the big screen here. So this is a 2020 530i, and I have a 2020 M2, you guys might know from my previous videos. But this M Drive, well, the controls down here look the same, look very similar to it. It actually functions a little bit different than mine, and it took me a little bit to get used to this. So you guys will notice there are a lot of similarities in here. You do have your media, your communications, navigation, car, and your apps down here. This does have Apple CarPlay. Down here you have your dual zone climate, You have the max button, you can crank it all the way up. I'll leave it on auto for now because it is a bit loud. I'll turn these fans down so they're a little bit quieter so you guys can hear me. It does have all the safety features in here, so you can click on those safety features and that'll come up on the screen. On the steering wheel, you have your cruise control over here on this side. You guys know how the cruise control works. This particular car does have the heated steering wheel, and then you have your controls here, which you can flick through your channels on the dash, if you guys can see that. And then you have your wireless for your phone, and then your voice control for BMW. So a lot of really cool stuff on here that makes it real simple. Of course, you got your paddle shifters in here. This has the auto window wipers on here, and then you have your left and right over here, turn signals, and your dash control over here, so you can cycle through and choose your different controls, the different views that you want up on your screen while you're driving, which is a very nice feature to have. So again, you have your shifter. This is an automatic car, and you can drive, or when you have it in drive, you can put it into manual, which you can bump it to shift through the gears, which is a nice feature to have. Put it in park. You have your electronic parking brake, and then you have your controls to change the drive type. So you can put it in sport mode, which when you put it in sport mode, you can set it to dynamic setting, or you can change it to individual, and you can configure the individual to see how you would want it to be set up. So you can go into the vehicle settings, and you can set up your profiles. Right now it's guest because this is rental, but you can set up those individual profiles, and in there you can change the settings for the drive modes. So you can configure that, and then you're able to change it from steering sport. You can change these from sport to comfort. You can change the engine from sport to comfort. Almost kind of like a mini M button for those of you who are used to M cars on all those, and then you can reset it back to the regular setting. You can also do comfort mode, which changes the rings from red to white in your tachometer. And then you can put in Eco Pro, which changes the screen yet again. So using this, we can hit the menu button, bring it back to our main menu. And again, you have your media. So in the media, you can do your presets, Sirius, FM, AM, or you can hook it right into your phone if you'd like to do that. Communications, you can go into your phone information. And then if you have Apple Play or Android up, when you hit the map button, if your phone's connected properly, you can bring it into Waze or whatever map app you'd like instead of the BMW navigation. But this of course does have your BMW navigation as well. So that's kind of the functions in here. Again, you have your buttons, and if you notice as I'm sliding my finger across this, at the top of the screen you can see it without me even clicking on the buttons. It scrolls through what they are. Right now none of them are assigned, but you can preset those to anything. You can set them to a radio station, you can set it to nav direction, so you can program number 1 to your home, and every time you hit number 1, the navigation will automatically take you home from wherever you're at, or direct you towards home from wherever you're at. You have your volume here, again the AC controls, you have your 2 vents in the center, your hazard light, the safety features that you can turn on and off. This car is equipped with the convenience package, so you have the power tailgate, you have the heated front seats, and XM with 1 year. It does have the wood grain trim in here as well, and as you guys can see here, the seats are very nice black Dakota seats. I really do like these seats. They're not an upgraded seat, they're just a standard seat for this car, and this has got quite a bit of room in there. It does have a sunroof equipped on this car, and the one-touch sunroof is very handy to have. It's a very big sunroof, being down here in South Carolina. It's a little bit warm today, so we're going to go ahead and leave that closed. But again, it's just a one touch, and then if you press it again, it will cover it back up from the top. So let's go ahead and jump around into the back of the car. Now, I did leave the car seat where I sit when I'm driving, so you guys can see how much room I have. I have a good bit of room in here. I'm about 6 feet tall, as you guys can see. I have plenty of headroom in here. There's plenty of space. The armrest is very nice in here. It does have a couple cup holders on there, but you can also close that up if you'd like. And the headrests are adjustable. You do have your lamp system up here as well. I've got my own cooling control back here, so I can turn the vents on and off. And in true BMW style, you can actually do some minor adjustments to the airflow, make it warmer or colder if you'd like. We'll leave that on cold. This car does have the upgraded 5 Series floor mats in here, which is very nice to have as well. But there's plenty of room back here, a lot more than you get in the 3 Series. All right, guys, I almost forgot to show you this, but this is one of those things that fascinates me. The power trunk. All you do is one touch and it motors up, and as you can see, there's a great bit of storage back here. You have the cubbies on the side, cubbies down here. This has a first aid kit. You have your floor mat upgrade. Got my camera bag in here. But then you can pull these levers and it'll drop the front seats, so you have even more room going through the back of the car. And when you're done in the trunk, go ahead and hit the button and it auto closes the trunk. All right, let's grab a startup of this car. Not too bad from an inline 4-cylinder turbo. I think it actually sounds pretty good considering what it is. And this isn't a V8, you can't expect big V8 sound coming from it. Alright guys, so let's go for a test drive. The inline 4-cylinder in this car is equipped to do 24 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway. Now, we did take this car out on a trip, and we drove it from Greenville into Charlotte and back, and on that trip we bettered 32. We were getting somewhere around 33, 34 on the freeway in this car. Now, of course, we don't hot dog, we're not out there getting on it all the time. We were just driving it. We also weren't trying to be super eco-friendly either. We weren't trying to drive this like it's a hybrid or a eco car by any means. We were just driving, just everyday driving, probably doing 70-ish on the freeway, just trying to get to where we were going. And so this car, I think if you were one of those crazy hyper mile type of people, you can probably very easily get this car even better than that. But being hot, having the AC cranked up, and trying to keep ourselves cool, and just driving from Greenville to Charlotte, we got 33, 34 miles per gallon in that. And in the city, I think we're doing a good bit better than 24 so far. I don't have those exact numbers for you, but anyway, let's get into driving this car. So again, with that M Sport package, this car actually has a little bit stiffer ride even in the comfort mode. So comfort does change how the steering wheel response is. It changes your throttle response a little bit, gives you more of a cushy ride, if you will. But in this M Sport package, even the comfort ride is still a stiffer ride than your traditional 5 Series. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are an aggressive driver, then you will want this Sport package. For myself, there's no question, you got to have this M Sport package. My wife, she also has to have this M Sport package, but then you know, other people maybe not so much. They don't care about that. They don't want a stiffer car. They might complain that it's too stiff and a little bit jerky.
Again, another difference when you put it into the sport mode, it does stiffen up your the steering wheel for the driver. It does crisp up the shift points, so it shifts a little faster, a little harder. It is very noticeable. This is an 8-speed variable transmission, and you can really hear it going through the gears, especially if you have the radio off. All right, so we got a little bit of clear road here. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of throttle. Now, this part of the road is straight, but if you can hear the noise because of the larger wheel size, the 19-inch wheel and the lower profile on the tires with the sport suspension, you'll notice you can hear a lot more road noise coming through the steering wheel, through the car. You can hear that communication from the ground, which if you're driving more aggressively, you want that communication, you want to hear that, you want to feel that. I will say that you don't feel a whole lot through this steering wheel. Don't get me wrong, this isn't like an M2 or another car like that that's a bit more aggressive, more nimble, but you can feel a little bit. You definitely hear it. Again, I'll be quiet for a second. Give it the beans here. It'll get up and go. I mean, it's not an M car. You're not going to get M car kinds of speeds out of this, but it's quick enough for what you want to do, to get to and from work, to go to lunch with your co-workers, or to take the kids to the mall, or whatever kind of daily real driving you're doing 90% of the time. This car is more than adequate for that. It is definitely not a pure sports car, but if you're a daily commuter, business person, or a family person, and you want something better than average, this is definitely better than average. This will blow away your Chevys or your Fords. I mean, this car is at a whole different level, and I think we all know that, but this is a high-end car, and it shows. It really impressed me, I have to say. You know, I've always written off the 5 Series, if I'm being honest with everyone, and I never even consider it, other than the M5, which I used to own a 2006 M5, and I really adored that car. It was one of my favorite cars that I've ever owned. But this handles every bit as well as that old M car did, in my opinion. Obviously, it does not go like that M car went. This transmission's much smoother. This is much more tolerable as a daily driver. It gets great gas mileage, and it does everything really well. And in this package with the black kidney grills and the black trim, it's just a really sharp, eye-catching package. The driving experience of this car for the driver is amazing. It's very grounded. It feels very controlled. It's a very good driving car. I will say, having sat passenger for half the trip on our trip to Charlotte, as a passenger, it is a little jarring. If the driver should react and hit the brakes, it does send you for a thump into the windshield if you're not ready for it. But it's a little bit bouncy, but it's not bad at all. I mean, if you know what you're getting into, you know what the car's about, you don't mind that little bit of a bumpiness that comes with the stiffer suspension. And I mean, it wouldn't make me not buy the car, even as the passenger. It just, if you're trying to read on a tiny cell phone screen as a passenger, or watch videos or whatever, it can be a bit bumpy for that kind of stuff. The power on it, it's good power for what it is, but is it a fast car? Heck no. This is not a fast car. This is not quick. Is it fast enough to get on the freeway and to get yourself into merging traffic? Absolutely. You can do that all day long. Is it fast enough to have a little bit of fun? Sure, it's fast enough to have a little bit of fun. But if you're going from one of these cars that's in the 500 horsepower category, which seems to be every other car anymore, this is not that car. This is your luxurious, I've made it, I've got a fantastic car, I got a fantastic job, I got a fantastic family, I'm proud of myself reward kind of car. This is a car you can really feel good about owning, and feel good about you know, having it, making the purchase of this car. It's a great car. These cars hold up. I see 5 Series from 20 years ago still rolling around, and especially down here in South Carolina. Granted, we don't have salt on our roads quite like up in the north, coming from Ohio originally, and these cars are all over the place down here. It feels like this is a BMW land down here with all the BMWs we see, and they're still holding up well. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us again. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe. We need more subscribers, and please leave me your feedback. Let me know what I'm doing well. Let me know what I'm not doing well, and your advice, your tips, all that stuff, we take it into consideration. And hit that like button if you like this video. You can follow us on Instagram for our latest updates and what's going on. Instagram at QuickShifts. And we really appreciate all those who have subscribed and given us thumbs up, and all the feedback that we've gotten from you guys. We really appreciate all that. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.